We said there might not be much in the way of nerves in the opening match, and that's a 14-dart start for Andy. And had he made the final, he would have been here too. It just so happens that John O'Shea making the final was enough for him to be involved in Group B later in the week.
Yes, like you say, it's those fine margins as Scott Taylor finds his second 180 of the match.
Scott, you require 96.
I don't think these two are going to play 7 times. But I'm not ruling out the thought that they might win
Game shot on a 4th leg.
a few games
Scott
against
Taylor.
each other with shots like that. Any player this week knows Portsmouth better than Andy Bolton. 3-3 it is. And we go the distance in the first match of the week. Just mouthed, come on there. And he gets the win in the first game. That was a belt at the start of the week. The average is good. Andy Bolton loses with an average in excess of 91. Expect to see losing averages like that this week. It's not of the level of Ross Montgomery on Friday, when it is in fact Phil Taylor that has denied him PDC titles twice.
180.
Well, if we're going to get 5 180s a game based on the first game of the day, sign me up.
Imagine that list about Phil Taylor
94.
denying, as you say, Wayne Jones. I imagine the list is quite long of the players he's denied a title over the years.
Yeah, long and distinguished. This shot denied Taylor in the 2003 World Final, and it gives Tom Sykes an immediate break of throw. 366-day job in 2024. Double 10. And that's an equaliser for Tom in 12 darts. Welcome to Champions Week, everybody. This is great quality. Double 16. And if you think that opening win for Scott Taylor was impressive, you might want to get a load of these numbers, because to put your foundation into the ground to start a Champions Week, how about that? It's exactly 4 out of 10, just like Scott Taylor from the first game, but the average is better, and he's taken out Wayne Jones. You wouldn't categorise him with a word. You'd categorise him with a noise.
59.
It's one of, oh, yeah, he's good. He's very good.
On the first leg,
15-dart start for Chaz Barstow.
Chaz, you require 92
for the lead. Miraculously, could be the worst leg of the match so far. And it's a double-double effort. That's a little bit of flashiness from Chaz Barstow. Expect him to do that.
The kind of ordering that they think that this group will actually finish in. Who goes through? And as you say, who finishes bottom?
It's a big dart for Cam.
54.
That miss opens up an opportunity for Chaz.
56.
2 double 18s in the previous leg. This time he just needs 1. A brilliant switch over to the left side of the board. Always hurts a bit more when the opponent gets the break of throw on dart 3. 16s has always been there. And had a bit of flirtatiousness with double 18 for a while. And that is 180 number 4 in this match. So is that going to be the average number of 180s per game? Because we had 4 in the previous game. We had 5 in the first. 4 here. I think we could be on for record territory today. And the game continues. Never really shown his best stuff in a Group A situation. But he has here in the opening match of his campaign. A 14-darter gets the job done in a high-quality encounter. But from a numerical sense, it's actually the worst game we've had so far. And that tells you an awful lot. I remember another Sykes saying, do you want a flake in that, love? That was for a 99. Double 16. Our first bagel of the week goes to Andy Bolton, who was typically Andy Bolton in that one, averaging just over 91. Very steady on the doubles as well. His highest finish of the match came with his last 3 darts as well. That game of 91.09 is the exact average that Scott Taylor put in to win in week 12. So, as long as possible, play it. Oh, doubling from the gods here from Taylor. Losing out to Leonard Gates. Double 5. Still hasn't missed a double. And it's 3 different doubles. Double top. Didn't miss a double.
And the match,
And
Scott
shows
Taylor.
off by hitting the bottom corner as well. What a performance that is from Scott Taylor. First average of over 100 for the week, and he made it look simple, and he did it in just over 7 minutes. This game is not level. Well, it might be if Cam misses this. But he doesn't.
Shot on his second leg, Cam Crabtree.
Spectacular dart from Shazam. Well, he went for it. We were waiting to see if he was going to do it, and that is a statement. We've seen 101.9 from Scott Taylor in match 5, but that is nothing compared to what we've just seen. 127 on the ball to finish it, and the average is over 105. If he can be a bit sharper on the doubles at this turn. He is, because in his previous match, he didn't hit anything from 7 attempts. What a marker. And what a performance that is. Wow, we've had 101.9 from Scott Taylor. We've had 105.47 from Crabtree. That is a 4-1 victory for Chaz Barstow. 102.45. And Ross only got 2 legs. What kind of range has he got in this 60 at the minute?
108.
Hold my fish. Holy
Scott,
mackerel.
you require 104.
He might even get a look at the 41.
84.
These are the fine margins. Scott Taylor's had 2 darts at a double in the match. I do beg your pardon, he's only had the 1. He needs more than 1.
Third leg, Tom Sykes.
What is this? And all he can do is get to 17.
Yeah, but when you're in one of those matches and you're playing to that level, sometimes the adrenaline kicks in.
Game shot on the 4th leg.
Well taken 66 there for Scott Taylor. It was a breaker throw.
But Sykes may rue the fact that he didn't take 141. Oh my word, double 18. What a sexy 143 that is. Double 18. Wow. Simple as that. What a game. Can we just fast forward to their game tomorrow? Because if it's anything like that, I want to watch it over and over and over. That is one of the performances of the series from Tom Sykes. Wayne just needs a clean take here. This would help. That's more like it.
Second leg, Wayne Jones.
To retake the lead, he needs the 57 and tops.
Game shot on the
Great
third
recovery.
leg, Cam Crabtree.
Oh, come on, Cam. You've just hit that shot. Double 2. He wins the match. And all you've got to do when you come here on Monday is win points. There have been gulfs between the performance levels of some of the games from Cam Crabtree, and Wayne Jones may not be happy with averaging 81 in that game, but when we tell him that he has got his first 2 points of the day.
But you feel this is actually quite an important game really for Andy Bolton, because as Henry mentioned, he has been consistent in terms of average, but hasn't had the results, just the one win from 3, and that is a 14 dart opening hole to throw there.
In that Group C, he was 20 points from 20, but it's Sykes who is getting all of the plaudits and the maximums.
180.
Yeah, second max of the match for Tom Sykes, but an important setup shot.
140.
At the minute, Andy is thinking,
24.
Can you just miss?
Game shot on the
Didn't get the message.
leg,
That's a
Tom
14 dart
Sykes.
leg. Can he break this streak of legs lost? Wow.
Tom, you require
It's almost as if the double 10 was
142.
repelling his tungsten. Hang on to your hats. It's double 11. Oh,
Shot
what's
and the
that?
match, Tom Sykes.
An extraordinary finish to another brilliant performance from Tom Sykes. It's not the same level that we've seen from him in the previous round. Far from it, but my word, it's another big victory. And he's now on 8 points. Double 12. Made that look easy. That's an 11 darter. Here comes Scott. It was fascinating to hear from him last week. When he was struggling with his scoring, we asked him, so what did you change? And he said, I just threw it harder.
140.
A tremendous answer.
Scott, you require
as would
32.
double 16.
Game shot on the
3-2 Taylor.
Scott Taylor.
Barstow's done really good things in this game, but he's behind.
Match-winning opportunity coming up for Scott Taylor.
Scott,
to get to 6
20.
points and second position in the table.
Game shot.
It is Taylor who
Scott
recovers
Taylor.
after losing to the table topper Tom Sykes. 4-2, you'd have to say, is a very fair result on reflection because he had 13 darts at a double compared to Chaz's 5.
I do agree. We've seen the levels that Cam has got, but well, I don't quite think he was going the double-double route, but
this portion of the day sometimes it does test the mental strength. And look at the bullseye from Crabtree. You naughty, naughty boy. Crabtree takes 64 and he's 3-1 up on someone who has not lost today. Double top.
44.
That was close.
Tom, you require 32.
This is what darts is all about. You miss a double via the wire. Could have been 3-1 up, and the next dart you see, it's 2-2. A Lou Reed. Because today's your perfect day. A wonderful opening day for Tom Sykes. 5 wins from 5, and arguably winning 5 different ways. He's dominated some opponents.
World Seniors, an event where it will be the kind of swan song for Phil Taylor.
Double top for Wayne. Oh, larceny at its best. It has been anything but that.
10.
99 for Taylor.
Scott, you require 99.
To finish his day with 8 points. To put the added bit of seasoning on what's been an excellent entree. Double top again. Oh, yes. Brilliantly done. The cherry on the top of the day. And Scott Taylor is the closest challenger to Tom Sykes with 8 points and a leg difference of +7.
Game shot on a
no problem.
Andy Bolton.
Doubling like a demon.
For a 4-1 win for Andy Bolton. Needs double 10.
Game shot.
Yeah, and this time he does find double 10. Nice little roar there from Andy Bolton, who just secures himself a 4-1 victory over Chaz Barstow. Averages there for Andy Bolton, 96.04, his highest of the day, and finishes on a real high. Just keeps himself within touching distance of the top spot. But that checkout percentage there, 4 out of 5 on the outer ring for Andy Bolton. 80% checkout rate, highest checkout of 104, and Chaz Barstow not far behind with an 89.14. Well, we can go over and join Henry with Paul in the studio.
Laura, thank you very much. Well, day one is done and dusted as far as Champions Week is concerned. And what a blistering day worth of action we have seen here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. These are the results from it. And really, there was 2 standout players on day one. Tom Sykes blew the opposition apart, winning all 5 of his matches, while Scott Taylor won 4 out of 5. And even in that game he lost to Tom Sykes, he averaged in excess of 101. We've been watching all of the action today in the company of the asset, Paul Nicholson, and he joins me in the studio now. Well, we gave the big build-up to this Champions Week, and boy, has it delivered so far.
We talked on Friday and on Saturday about the quality of Week 12 and how they had to follow what we've done before. I wasn't sure that today would live up to what we wanted. I thought maybe there would be some nerves, a little bit of edginess about what is possible over the course of the next few days, but I will pay full credit to all of the players, even the people who didn't have great days. They have played their part today in what has been a sensational first day of Champions Week. Great level of performance, great consistency from some. Some people tailed off, but they've got a chance to bounce back tomorrow.
I know it's very easy to say right after the event, but there was a spell in the middle of that session today, which was up there with anything I've ever seen in this venue.
Yeah, round 3, 3 consecutive 100-plus averages for winning matches, including a 100 average in a loss that you just mentioned about Scott Taylor. So that proves that the crop of players that we've got here this week are some of the best outside of the PDC system. And it was a wonderful purple patch to watch. At one point, myself and Laura were just sitting back in our chair and saying, what are these guys up to? And it also proves as well that when you've got the first couple of rounds out the way, these guys are still not at the end of the session, so they're not tiring yet, but they're finding that nice mix of readiness and energy. And at round 3, they had it.
Well, we can actually show you some of the top averages from today's session. And as a matter of fact, Cam Crabtree won the solitary game on day 1, and he won it with an average of 105.5. Tom Sykes tops that averages table with 109.82, and then Scott Taylor there with a couple of 101 averages in there. Look, we said at the start we expected a good standard, but did we expect it to be that good that quickly?
Probably not. I would have expected a lot of mid-90s, maybe the odd 100 average in there. I would probably go for 2 or 3. But I've got to pay tribute to Laura in the commentary box. I asked her a question about what kind of level we would get this week. She said around about 109.5, so she was spot on. So yes, now because of that, I think we should expect a little bit more.
And we want more as well. Right, let's talk about some of the key players then from today. And we're going to begin with Tom Sykes. He won 5 out of 5 on his opening day, and it looked like at no point, even though the average dwindled towards the end of his last game, at no point did it look like he was going to wilt at any moment.
I think his version of a bad game is starting to get a lot better, and this is the sign of a really good player. In that game, he was 3-0 up, but he was on the verge of losing a leg, but was able to win it with a big out like that. That reminded me a little bit of Scott Waite. He used to be able to do that as well, and that's one of the best compliments I can pay to a fellow Yorkshireman, because obviously Scott is from Halifax. But yeah, he's got a bad game at 88, and he's got a great game at 109. That's a range you could definitely work with here.
In some ways, though, has he almost put a target on his back that maybe wasn't there as much before?
He has now, because this morning you and I were talking about Bolton, we were possibly talking about Crabtree and Taylor. Now he's going to be the headline maker overnight. Through all of our social media platforms in the next, say, 12 to 16 hours, it's going to be Sykes, Sykes, Sykes. And he's going to be psyched up when it comes to tomorrow, that's for sure. And people are going to want to beat him.
He most certainly will. Well, the closest person in terms of him in the league table is Scott Taylor, winning 4 out of 5. And in that game, he lost average in excess of 101. And he's taken that Week 12 momentum into Champions Week. And it looks like there's no signs of stopping apart from that one game against Tom.
Yeah, even that game with Wayne Jones, he wasn't playing his best stuff, but he was still able to finish on a high. Just imagine as a dart player what it's like to have a really tricky last game like that. If you lose it and you're 4 points behind Sykes overnight, you've got a lot of work to do the next couple of days to try and catch him. But it's not just the fact that he got the points. He won that game with a really good cherry on the top finish with tops, and that will make him feel great going into tomorrow. And he will have a chance to possibly catch Sykes before he even throws a dart tomorrow.
It was interesting speaking to Matthew Edgar during last week's coverage. He said the one thing that he's been really impressed with is the temperament with Scott Taylor. He's mentioned it himself in interviews in recent times, the fact that he's not getting bogged down by things. He's not letting things affect him in a way that maybe a year ago it would have done. And we're seeing a better player and a more consistent player as a result of that.
Well, how many times are we having this conversation? Luke Humphreys has done this in his career, and he's gone on to become world champion and world #1. This is what dart players have got to learn. If your temperament isn't right, you are going to lose matches that maybe you should win. And I think Taylor is starting to find inspiration from others, whether it's Littler, Humphreys, or people in this building. And now he's starting to put that into practice, and he's yielding the results. So everybody pay attention.
Andy Bolton, is he a player that's going to simmer around the surface this week, and at some point we're going to really see him catch fire? Because the averages today were consistent for him.
Andy will be fine. I think today was just a really harsh lesson in what day 1 can bring. He'll play first game tomorrow. He wins that game. He's on to a healthy number of points going into the meaty part of moving day. I don't worry for Andy. I still think he's going to make Champions Night on Saturday. Whether it's Group A or whether it's B or C, I don't think it matters. I think he'll be there.
What about Cam Crabtree, especially towards the end? There was a couple of worrying signs.
Just too erratic today. His high was very high, his low was very low. And that gap has got to close. This range that we've started to talk about a lot more in this series, you've got to close that to about 20. It cannot be over 30, which is exactly what it was today. His range was 32 points. You can't have it that wide.
Well, the league table makes for intriguing reading because it is Tom Sykes who is top of the pile, having picked up 10 points from the opening day. Scott Taylor in second spot on 8, and as you can see, third to sixth, there's only a couple of points in it, which is going to make day 2 very intriguing indeed. Right, before I let you guys go for the day, I just want to quickly pick up on something outside of the Super Series a little bit, because it is the beginning of the Pro Tour day, and we're going to see a lot of players who would have played on that stage make their debuts on the Pro Tour. Luke Little, of course, amongst them.
Yeah, and Owen Bates, I believe he's already lost his first round match today, so there's another tournament tomorrow, so I'm sure Owen will probably do better tomorrow. But great history today for Italy with Michele Torretta getting the first win for an Italian player. But unfortunately, he didn't come here before he went to the Pro Tour. But I'd like to see Italian players have a crack to try and get here. But yeah, very, very good luck to all the players who've played here this year and obviously last year who are going into their pro careers. Yeah,
thank you to the class of 2023 that made their way onto the Pro Tour. But our first Champions Week of 2024 has seen its first day completed. Paul, thank you very much for your company. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:30 live on Sporty Stuff TV and on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel, where Sykes is sighting the top of the table. And I've got a little bit of news before we let you go today, because next week's Double Trouble is going to be exclusively live on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel, and it is a week not to be missed.
It's double 18. It's a perfect 9 dart, and he's been threatening all day.
He is Jim McEwen!
Oh yeah, love that, and so does he.
The way he reaches the final, double 12, but Kevin Painter to seal the spot in style.
And that is a 170 checkout.
Robert Thornton.
It's double 6.
Game shot on the 5th leg.
What a tidy shot that is.
Game shot on the 5th leg.
Masterful
from Mark Duffridge.